Widely considered one of the greatest graphic novel authors of all time, the brilliance of Alan Moore is undeniable. He began his career as a magazine cartoonist, but soon realized his real talent was not in drawing, but in writing. While he has written hundreds of comics, there are a few that stand out above the rest. While writing for the British magazine Warrior in the early 1980s, Moore envisioned his award-winning comic series V for Vendetta. The story follows a revolutionist, V, a freedom fighter in Britain in the not-too-distant future. Moore's storyline twists and turns, describing a fictitious government that has taken all freedom from its people. This series brought Alan Moore into the limelight and led to more great British and American creations. Following the success of V for Vendetta, Alan Moore was hired by DC Comics. His first big American hit came when he took on writing for a DC character known as the Swamp Thing. Moore was able to use the Swamp Thing series to take on real issues like racism and nuclear waste. By doing so, he proved to be more than just a common fiction writer. In 1986, while still working for DC, Moore began writing a series that for a while flew under the radar but would later be known as the greatest comic ever written. Watchmen revolutionized the modern comic. Watchmen is the only comic to ever be named to the New York Times all-time greatest novels list. The story takes place in an alternate reality in which masked vigilantes roam the streets fighting crime. What makes Watchmen stand out from other comics, aside from Moore's exceptional writing, is the innovative format in which the comic was written. Moore uses a mixture of comic frames and full-page text to draw readers into the story. Before leaving DC Comics, Moore took on one of the most well-known comic characters of all time. Batman has been around since 1939, yet Alan Moore's contribution, Batman the Killing Joke, is considered one of the best Batman comics to date. In his story, Moore took the battle between Batman and the Joker to a darker, more psychological level than anyone had previously dared. In a single comic, Moore redefined the series. Following his exit from DC, Alan Moore worked on a series of smaller projects, eventually leading to his next groundbreaking series. In From Hell, Moore takes on the story of Jack the Ripper. The painstaking detail that he puts into the characters and story, along with the bleak artwork, make for an edge-of-your-seat read. Moore's story is written in graphic detail, outlining a conspiracy that includes secret societies, government involvement, and investigators who are forced to look the other way to protect their country. Moore put nearly 10 years of research and work into this story, and the end result is proof that his work paid off. After a stretch of time away from mainstream comics, Alan Moore joined the team at America's Best Comics. He currently has a number of ongoing series, including the popular League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Alan Moore is also currently working on series including Tom Strong, Tomorrow Stories, and Promethea. After 30 years of brilliant writing, the master of the graphic novel is still going strong.